Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a first impression and wear test of the new NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. So it looks like this. Ooh, it comes in a nice glass bottle, so that's kind of cool. And then it has a little dropper. So the top is plastic, the dropper is glass, and then you can see you just drop out the foundation that you want. It is very, very liquidy and very runny. I'm wearing it right now. It is pretty full coverage. This is brand new from NYX Cosmetics. I do like NYX as an overall brand. I think they have a lot of options. They have like anything you could think of that has to do with makeup. They aren't really known for their foundation, but I like that they're bringing out a foundation like this that's very customizable. I'm sure you can mix this in with like your moisturizer or other foundations to give it more coverage. So I almost think of like the custom cover drops or even the Glamouflage hard candy drops. So hopefully they will work for that as well. I haven't tried that at all yet. This is just my first time wearing it, my first impression. So these retail for $14 for a bottle. You get 0.43 fluid ounces. So not the usual 1 fluid ounce that you get in most foundations, but it is pretty affordable and you don't have to use a lot. It's not the type that you need to use a full few pumps or whatever. So there's, you know, not a whole lot of product used. They do require that you shake well before you use it. On the back of the box here, there's kind of a drop guideline. Let me show you that. So it says to use 2 drops for light coverage, 3 drops for medium, and 4 or more for full coverage. However, I do try this out in the first impression, and it doesn't ever say anywhere like 4 drops for 1 square inch of your face, or 4 drops for your whole face. So I end up using quite a bit more than 4 drops. I show you like that 4 drops covers like roughly my big fat cheek area. So yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, I built it to a pretty full coverage just because that's what I wanted to try today. But I think, I don't know if you could wear it really light coverage and have it work. At least for me, it got kind of streaky. And so to get rid of the streakiness, I had to really like build up the coverage. I don't know. That was just my experience. I'm not a great makeup pro. Like, I'm not great at applying makeup, or I'm not an expert. I'm just a person who likes it. So, I might not be the best person to tell you, well, you can do it if you use this technique. I will probably try this tomorrow with a beauty blender and tell you if it works any differently or if it's the same. So I found this at Ulta just a few days ago, and the funny thing was, this is shade number 5. The shade is called Light, I believe. Yeah, Light, and it's shade number 5. So when I was looking online, I was looking first at like the lowest numbers, because typically I'm the lightest shade in any foundation range. It's just the nature of being really ghastly pale. So I was looking at like number 1 and number 2, and they didn't have those anywhere near me, and I was like, oh, well, that kind of stinks. And I didn't even look any higher than that because I thought, well, I'm never a shade 5 ever. So I go into Ulta, kind of just browsing for other stuff, and see the display for these. They only had shade 3 and 5 as like the 2 lighter shades, then they had a few darker ones. So they skipped a whole bunch, which was interesting to me. And so right away I grabbed the 3 and I'm like, well, this is probably mine. But then I tried out the dropper on my hand and it was very, very warm. So I thought, well, I can't use this. I'll look like a Cheeto. So I put it back and then I grabbed the 5, just like, okay, let's see. Use the tester, and it was a perfect match on my hand, which I know isn't the best way to test, but I had other stuff to do and I didn't want to like smear something on my face if it's the wrong shade. You know, I wasn't at home where I could like try it out and then wipe it off or whatever, or redo my makeup. Sorry, my hair is a hot mess, bugging me. So I thought this was a really good match from in-store on the back of my hand. So I grabbed it, thought I'd try it out. You'll see today it's not exactly a perfect match, but I think especially the more it's wearing right now, and oh wow, in my monitor it looks like way different colors, but in my mirror right here with the same lighting, it looks like fine. You know, it's not like, hey, that's my exact skin tone, but it looks like a decent enough match where nobody's gonna look at me and be like, oh my gosh, what is she doing with her face? But in my monitor here, it looks like this is bright red and this is bright yellow, so whoops. Oh well. So this is supposed to give you a velvety matte finish, and it says you can adjust the number of drops to the desired level of coverage, which you just talked about. And that's about all it says. It is water-based. It looks like water is the second highest ingredient. So that's good to know in case it reacts with your primer in a weird way. I don't think I've had that happen where it's been an issue. I always use, well, lately, I've always been using the Dr. Brandt Pores No More primer, and I'm really, really liking this. So huge shout out to these guys. If you haven't tried this, I definitely recommend it. But yeah, overall, my powder is applied well over this. I did not set it with a powder because it had a velvety matte finish already, and I don't want to be super caked up. And lately, my skin is a little bit dry due to winter, the whole winter thing happening. And so if I set it with a powder, it gets really cakey. So I didn't set it with a powder. It's just a little bit cakey if you look up close, but from a distance, even looking like in my mirror that's right in front of the camera, it looks really good. I like it. I didn't even set my concealer with a powder. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape. And you can see I have some Fallout City and like some black dots under my eyes. It always happens. If you know how to fix it, let me know. I think that's all I have to tell you right now. So I'll move right into the demo and into the check-ins. All right, so I've already moisturized my face, and now I'm going to prime with my Dr. Brandt Pores No More primer, and I've been really, really liking this stuff. I just bought the full-size version, so it's just kind of like a tan, creamy kind of pore filler. So I both kind of press and smooth it around when I put this on. As you can see, I have a lot to cover. I have a lot of redness. I have some dark circles. So I'm hoping that this foundation really is full coverage. So I'm going to just place a few drops onto my Bath & Body Works candle lid. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So right away there's 4 drops. As you can see how runny it is. Okay, so before that runs off, I'm going to grab my Sigma F80 Flat Kabuki and grab a little bit. Just double this onto my cheek. Is as normal, missing someone. Okay, and that's about 4 drops. So it doesn't specify, you know, how many drops are supposed to cover your whole face or anything. It just says 4 drops, full coverage. So yeah, that's that as far as the 4 drops. So I'm gonna add quite a bit more and keep going. When I tried this in store, it was a pretty good color match on me, so hoping it will still be a good color match. Right now my face is really red, and so it looks like a very different shade than I'm putting on it, but I think this is the shade my skin is supposed to be, or close to it. And it may be a little bit warm. On my small monitor it looks ridiculously yellow, but in the mirror I have, it doesn't look very yellow, so hopefully the color looks okay to you guys and I don't look like a crazy person who's like, yeah, this matches, and I'm like, okay. And you did right from the start. Missing someone is as normal. Missing someone and missing someone. So it does look pretty full coverage, in my opinion. It might be too warm for me. As you can kind of see, I'm red-ish down here. It might be too warm, and this was like the lightest shade they had there. The shade they did have lighter was very, very warm, so I didn't want to go that warm if possible. So hopefully this focuses. Here's a close-up, so you can kind of see how it looks. When I get closer up, I see streaks. Okay, so there are some cakey bits. So my skin type is mostly normal right now. With all of the dry winterness going on, it's still fairly normal, maybe a little bit dry, but this is really accentuating a lot of the dryness I don't even have. You know, it does look kind of cakey like up here. So I'm not sure about this one yet. It doesn't feel like it's totally set. It feels kind of tacky still. It looks kind of cakey, especially on my upper lip where I do have some, you know, white hairs. I mean, who doesn't? Yeah, so it's definitely clinging to the facial hair I do have, and like any kind of dry patches, it just doesn't look really great right now. It looks, I think it looks good from far away, but I will do another check-in when I have all my makeup done, and so I'll see you guys then. Hey guys, I've had the foundation on about 4 hours, and it is looking a lot better than when I first applied it. It does have a very velvety, like matte kind of powdery finish, so like up close, I'll tell you up close, it doesn't look great. It looks good from far away, very full coverage, but up close it gets really like kind of cakey and powdery looking. But let me try and do a close-up for you. I'll see if my camera will focus. You can kind of see how it's caking, especially around my nose, upper lip, between my brows. But other than that, I do think it looks pretty good. I'll do another check-in before bed, before I take this off and do like a face mask and everything. I mean, overall, I think I would wear it again. I think that it has a nice finish. I do like the full coverage of it. It's one of the fullest coverage products I've used in a while. And I think it has, you know, since I have such reddish discoloration and everything, it's hard for me to get that like blank canvas to then put like the blush and the contour on, because everything kind of looks, I don't know, not as good when I have like the redness underneath or whatever. So I do like that about this foundation, but I don't know if it's an everyday wear for me. It still doesn't feel like it's totally set either. Like it, you know, I know there's criticism when it's like, when you touch it, it comes off, and people are like, well, don't touch your face, obviously. But you know, for me personally, I'm going to touch my face. Like, it just happens throughout the day. And I don't notice it like wiping off or anything, but it doesn't feel like it's set. So like I have some allergies and I've been taking Claritin or whatever for it, but I still like kind of itch at my nose a lot because my nose is itchy. And so I'll notice throughout the day a lot of foundations come off, and I've been trying really hard not to do that with this. So it hasn't really come off very much, but I know that if it was a regular day and I wasn't thinking about it, I would probably have like a red nose and the rest be super full coverage, which just kind of looks strange. So it's just something to keep in mind depending on what type of foundation you're looking for. But anyways, I'll see you once again before I go to bed for the night. Bye. Okay guys, I've been wearing this foundation for about 7 hours and I'm ready to go to bed. I put this on later in the afternoon, so that's why. It's still Christmas vacation for me, so my days are a little bit messed up and I did not get up early and apply this. So anyways, 7 hours, and so far it just keeps looking like a little bit cakier and cakier. So I feel like at the end of a regular day where it's like, you know, 10, 12 hours, that it would be even more cakey as it kind of like didn't mix with my oils or whatever. So I'll try and do some quick close-ups for you. But you can really see the cakiness around my nose. And you did it right from the start. Yeah, so I think from a distance, it looks pretty good. It definitely still has that full coverage look. It hasn't worn off in any areas, even with my nose wiping slash itching or whatever. I haven't noticed it wear off anywhere. It still looks really nice from a distance. Up close it is getting really cakey, but I mean, I guess it just depends on what you're looking for. So if I was to do like a video with this from far away, I think that it's a nice foundation for that because I think that it does look really nice from far away. Yeah, overall I think it does look really nice from here. It's just up close it does get kind of cakey and whatnot. So yeah, I might have to wear it out like to work one day and see how the cakiness looks there. If it's still kind of obvious like I see it in the mirror, you know, even from like, I don't know what this is, a foot or two away, it doesn't look bad. It looks fine in the mirror. So I don't know, maybe it would be good for an everyday thing. I think I just get too up close and get a little picky. I hope you enjoyed this review and found it helpful in some way or another. And so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.